This is just a little crude, but I'm just gonna have it on for like 2 seconds, and then yeah, when we start.
Oh yeah, it's cool, dude. It looks awesome.
Thank you.
And it's cool ass background too. Hell yeah. Welcome, dude.
I figured I'd start us off with a meme. And yeah, this is the biggest meme there is. 7 pound helmet that gives me neck cramps every time I actually wear it.
Oh God. I'll bet.
Yeah.
Hang on once. Dude, check this out. I just found this beer called it's from this page or channel or something called Conservative Dad.
Oh God. Yeah. No, I saw it on your story.
Did you see
I,
it?
I am extraordinarily left wing to the point where some people would call me an extremist. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, so you saw that you saw me post that beer, you were like, oh shit.
kind of yeah.
Oh shit, okay. It's kind of funny though.
It is kind of funny in a sense of irony for you, for me, but I get it. I get it.
Yeah. All right. Welcome, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's totally didn't expect being invited onto a podcast all of a sudden, but
Oh, dude. I should have invited you on a long time ago. I've had your brother on like numerous times.
my brother. You mean Matt?
Yeah.
He's not my brother.
Who is he?
He may be my very, very distant relative that happens to spell my name incorrectly. Because if you notice, I spell it with two R's instead of one. He spells it with one.
Really?
But both of us have relatives from French Canada, so
Oh, that's so funny. But you guys
we
aren't
are
you
on the
on?
same airsoft team. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
okay.
just met coincidentally. I was looking for a new team after I left Airsoft Anonymous, and I was like, these guys seem pretty friendly, so I'll meet up with them, and went pretty good. And then yeah, that's how we met.
That is cool, man. Okay. Yeah, I saw the last name and I was like, I know he has a brother. I thought I thought that
No,
was
his actual brother is like 7 feet tall and like 190
oh
pounds.
cow.
He is very lean and very muscular and very
Yeah,
tall. So it's quite impressive actually.
that's
But
wild.
which is funny because you see Matt, he has the dad build.
Yeah, right. Yeah, how did you guys meet then? Well, yeah, introduce yourself first off and then go into your background in airsoft, whatever, and then how
Yeah,
you got on
are
the
we
Matty
actually
Mo
rolling
team.
about now?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay, yeah, so we can start. Do you have like a little intro that you do?
Nope.
Oh,
Well, let
oh,
me give a shout out to the sponsors. Where's my skirmish thing at? Sponsors of this podcast episode. I appreciate so much JACKAL Tactical. They are, well, you might be familiar with them, up in Pennsylvania, a storefront and a field, and they also run Otherworld Milsim, which puts on events. Go to jacktac.com to find out more. And also Skirmish. The Skirmish system is, in my opinion, the best data tracking or stat tracking, I guess, system for airsofters out there. It goes with you to any field in the world that has the skirmish system set up, and you can track all your events and your stats and all that cool stuff. Go to play.skirmish.net. I've been saying go to skirmish.net this whole time, and I forgot that's not the actual address. I have all those links in my descriptions of every video. Just go hit them, and you'll figure it out.
hell yeah,
But,
brother.
yeah, man.
Yeah, actually, the only time I've used the skirmish bands is at Extreme Airsoft, and I actually really did like them.
Cool.
Just not many people actually have them, and
No.
sometimes you either have to rent them, which people complain about,
Yeah.
or like the stations aren't charged. But when they
Yeah.
are working, it's actually really fun because you can get the objectives working on there, and it's like you score your points or whatever.
Yeah.
But
One of the big issues they're having is they don't set it up properly. They don't take the time to set it up properly. So um, it's a very, very simple setup process, but Yeah. So one of the big issues or very important parts of setting it up is making sure all the bands are scanned in on
Yep.
either for whatever side.
That would
And
also take like 15
yeah.
minutes for everyone to get scanned in. Also, hi, by the way, I'm Edward Morissette, also known as Barrel.
Yeah,
Uh,
barrel. There you go.
I'm this week's guest, I suppose.
There you go. Yeah, you can do the intro, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm Ed. Um, I've been playing Airsoft for around 5.5 years at this point. Um, my kit is mostly Russian stuff or any kind of other Eastern European military. I probably have at least one piece of equipment from them just sitting somewhere, either on my belt or in plate carrier, or in the SKIRMESH bits that I've actually taken apart and put back together again on my kit. So it's a bunch of goofy shit. If you've ever encountered me in the field, you'd probably know how much 3D printed crap I have on my guns. There's not one of them that doesn't have something I touched or designed. Uh, Chief among them being my PKM's shortened stock. I didn't like the PKM's default stock, so I was like, I'll just make my own. 3D printed it, and the only thing wrong with it right now is it warped due to some heat exposure, but I fixed that with the steel rod insert, so it seems to be fine afterwards.
Okay.
Which, if everything goes right, it will soon be available for your purchase on Kiwi Milsim Fab's website.
Ooh,
So
really?
that wonderful gentleman, he also makes box mag inserts for the PKM, and he makes his own brand of miniaturized PKM box mag. It's just a smaller version of the
Okay.
humongous one that you get.
Right.
It's all designed by him. It's all fantastic. Um, I have worked with him in the past. He's like fixed some of my guns as well. He's fixed the PKM chiefly,
Nice.
and I have no complaints. Guy's perfect. So hopefully he will also be selling my stock soon.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. If he wants to post or you want to post it on our Discord, we have a section there for like buy, sell, trade, whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
You know, always welcome to do that as well.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, dude.
I got to get into the Discord then. I didn't even know you had a Discord.
Yes. It is we have links on our website and on
I'll
actually
figure it
they're
out.
all the yeah, they're on all the videos as well. But yeah, he can post it on any of that. Let's see, the buy, sell, trade. And then if you have videos that you want to post on there, I have a
Do
section
I
on
have
here.
videos? That's
Yeah,
actually another
if
thing I should
yeah,
plug really fast. I have a
yeah, go
YouTube
ahead.
channel. You can find it best by just typing in UBG slapping in just any YouTube search browser. Probably the first result will be me. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. My YouTube channel. It's also just called Barrel. Um, but yeah, we'll link it in the Discord. Look
We're
at that.
gonna
This man
link it.
already found it. Holy
We're gonna
crap.
link it and we're gonna show it off on the video. So
This is beautiful.
anyone
Yeah. My most
and
popular video,
yeah.
ironically, is I played a video game and I modded it to have some characters from an Adult Swim show. And that just blew up, and I have no idea why, but it's not
This one
really
here.
translating. Yeah, yeah, it's
That's awesome.
5.9K, but
Okay.
everything else is like a couple hundred views at most.
Oh my
So,
God, this game is awesome. I remember this game from back in the day.
oh, you're probably thinking of its predecessor.
Yes,
What
right.
is it? Jet Set
Um,
Radio?
yeah, Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, so this is a spiritual successor. It's called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
That's cool,
And
man.
obviously, coolest part about it for me is I can ship host and put mods in it. So
Oh, that's great, dude. Okay.
yeah, please
That's
check
awesome.
out the YouTube and
Yes,
help
sir.
me out. Buy my stock when it comes available.
Yeah, I was gonna say, here, I'll show the Discord. You guys can post in. You can post your videos here if you want as well.
I
Anytime you post a
am
video.
almost certainly going to be doing this.
Yeah. See, you got a bunch of different channels that post in here. Check out my vids. People can post their videos in here. They do it all the time. Buy, sell, trade. Like somebody else just added something on here. Kill House patches came out.
I cannot read Arabic.
So
I'm
I know, right? It
dating an
kind of looks
Egyptian
like it.
woman,
It
so
kind of
she
looks
might
like
be
it.
able to, but
What's that?
I am dating an Egyptian woman, so she might be
Oh,
able to,
nice.
but
Okay.
it is in fact quite nice.
How'd you guys meet?
We met on Hinge, and pretty much the rest was history. We're both nerds. We both video game, so
Is Hinge like a dating thing?
it is in fact.
I'm
It's like a premium version of Tinder, but you don't have to pay for it. There's less trash on it. You only get 12 likes, so you tend to use them better.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Okay.
What else about Airsoft
Yeah,
should
how
you
did
know
you get
about me?
started?
Yeah. Oh, well, I started playing with someone I'm no longer friends with. He was a huge narcissist, and I will not name names. I hope if you are listening to this, you know who you are and you feel bad about yourself. Um, Aside from that, he just gave me like an ARP 5.56. I later bought it from him and never stopped loving it. So that's
Had you
actually
heard
really
of had you heard of airsoft or anything before, like
oh
paintball or
this was actually when I was 18 years old is when I was allowed to
okay.
play for the first time. So I'd
Yeah.
wanted to play for the longest time, but my parents were the strict kind of no fun allowed parents.
Ooh,
So
okay.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
study all the time and
study all the time. I'm
oh,
not going to tell
okay.
you what hometown I grew up in, but it's known for its Blue Ribbon Public High School. Very, very high stress environment. We actually had a few students that committed suicide in my time there. So,
Dang.
great environment. Couldn't reckon no. I have many criticisms about my school system, but that's not what this podcast is about. Like I said, they were just strict, and they
Yeah.
wanted me to wait till I was, at least somewhat old enough. So, turned
Did you
18, went airsofting, fucking loved it.
yeah.
Um, Bought the ARP 5.56 off of him, and yeah, I pretty much became addicted to CQB gameplay. I still really do like CQB, by the way. I
Okay.
have Scorpion Evo that I have modded out.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
and I have a pretty good indoor kit as well. But I used to be I dabbled my feet into some speed softing back in the day. I modded out a high kappa and, built it up, Cerakoted it, laser cut it, whole bunch of crazy crap. Um, but yeah, now where I am right now, I mostly do some skirmishes at UBG, go to some Milsim events with Mobros, which is, by the way, I'm a member of Mobros Airsoft. I should have started off that,
No,
but
you're
oh
good, man.
well.
We kind of mentioned it earlier.
That is true. Yeah, I think my call sign is over there is Edmo. So there's going to be some affiliate links and whatnot from other people's posts, but also the main team's posts. Will I have my info in there as well, so you can follow my Instagram. But yeah, that's the bird's eye view of my airsoft career.
How did you find Mobros? You just found them at an event or on the
Yeah,
field?
I think I saw like a patch that said Mo Bros, and I was like, that's a cool that's a cool patch, right? And then I checked out their Instagram, and I was like, you know what? I've been looking for a new team because I left Airsoft Anonymous, um, and I liked the nature that you just had like a team chat. You'd be like, hey, you want to go to the X field this fucking weekend? And you'd have like four dudes. Maybe you haven't talked to them before, but since you're all part of the same team, you can just hang out, chill. Um, I make friends pretty fast anyways because I have the machine gun and people tend to like that when it's on their side.
Right. I was gonna share your Instagram too.
Oh yeah, yeah, go for it.
Got that pulled up. Because yeah, you
But yeah.
got a cool build here.
Oh, I would love to talk about that. Are you talking about the PKM or
This picture right here, it's badass.
yeah. So this is actually almost my full kit is in view. Um, so I'll
So you
people
wear this helmet, the one you started out with on this podcast. You wear that on the field.
yep.
Holy shit, dude.
I mostly have the visor up, so it's not obstructing my view, but sometimes I shit post and I throw it on. That's the other thing about me. I'm a huge shit poster. Don't look at my Reddit history. Do not. Anyways, but
Where's that
yeah,
link? I'm gonna put
so
that in the
no,
description.
no, 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 no.
No, that's
Yeah,
cool,
since
man.
this can't carry a camera, usually I also have what is it, 6B45. I forget the helmet designation. That's all like six something
Mm.
Russian designations are fucking
Oh,
weird.
okay.
But yeah, I have that one. It's basically just a knockoff of the NATO standard bump helmet. You know, it has the slot for your night vision, and I just use that for my cameras instead. Um, but yeah, I use that most of the time. And then this one is mostly for when I either run out of battery or I want to look cool. Obviously, I wanted to look cool for these pictures.
For sure.
So yeah. So that helmet is a replica bought from this website called FSB Shop. It's trying to replicate obviously the FSB units from Russia. Um, so it is basically a bunch of fiberglass and a lot of work put into it, and then some like
And it's heavy too, huh?
it's incredibly heavy. I don't know what else. Well, the steel, the visor itself is made of steel, and then
Oh.
there's some acrylic thrown in there, so that's probably where a
Hmm.
bunch of the weight is. But it's also got some padding in there, which is quite nice. Um, but yeah, that's where that helmet came from. I'm also wearing a Gorka suit pant. It's just the Gorka 5, but it's only the pants, and then I have it's some kind of Russian word, but it's basically just a sleeveless t-shirt,
Yeah,
different from a
right.
tank top, but you
With
know, it's
that.
in the digital flora camouflage, which
Yep.
is in fact my favorite camouflage.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, I really like how it comes out, especially like what it looks like, um, you know, out in the field. If it's like fall, it's perfect. If it's
Hmm.
summer, it's still like okay. Anytime there's like some sort of like dried material on the ground, so it's just leaves or sticks, it has a little bit harder time blending in, but it's still like as long as you're not like try harding, who cares, right?
Right.
Um, Moist environments it actually really does well in, like swamplands.
Gotcha.
If you've ever played at what's it called? Advanced Action over in Marlborough, Mass. That's a bit of a swampy field. That would probably do better there. But yeah, that's the Gorka suit also has integrated knee pads. Quite
Oh,
a nice
that's
feature.
cool. Yeah, it
Quite a
is.
nice feature. I'm not wearing it in the picture, but I'm sure you can pull up some of the other pictures I'm wearing. The full suit. It has a bunch of integrated pockets. It's extraordinarily well suited for almost any temperature. So even though if it's like the summer, I can wear it, and if, as long as I'm drinking a shit ton of water, I am fine.
Right.
During the winter, though, I don't have to wear anything underneath it. It's I'm one of those people that runs very warm, so I could be biased there, but um, it feels perfect for me. It's what's described as a demi-season piece of equipment by the place I got it from. Um, and when it comes back into stock, it would be available at rayshop.ru. I've used them many times, and I can vouch for their legitimacy. However, they like to shuffle their items, so they may not have like one thing or the other at any given time.
Gotcha.
But the best part is they don't actually support the Russian military or the Russian government. They aren't allowed to sell to either, technically speaking. But I mean, like it's been documented. You can go on like Telegram or whatnot and ask a Russian consul, "Hey, where'd you get your camouflage?" And it's like, "Great shop. Don't tell anyone."
Yeah, right.
So yeah, you're not supporting any of the nasty causes over in Russia because trust me, I get it. Um,
Sure.
that's why I wear the Ukrainian patch. Haha, I'm the good guy. Don't worry. That's
Yeah, I
my
see it.
fool the federal agents watching my posts patch. I do support their sovereignty, by the way. That's just
Uh,
for posterity's sake. But yeah, that's the Gork suit. It's a mortar tack replica. It's not the real bars thing. But to be honest with you, the mortar is much better build quality in my opinion. I've seen a few bars in my life, and they aren't quite as heavy in terms of like ripstop or like quick dry capabilities. And I know for a fact the mortar ones have more pockets, so you already know which one I'm going for.
hmm.
That's the Gorka suit, and then I'm also wearing a TV 102 Wartech in digital flora, which is, if I had to guess, there are probably only a few of those left in the northeast part of the United States. Um, I
Really?
got it off hop up, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, so it was just incredibly lucky of me to find it like that.
Right.
But I got it for like $200. That's a steal because the war had already started at that point. And
Mm,
of course nowadays you can't find them. They're impossible.
yeah.
Um, It's weird having a Russian kit that uses a plate carrier instead of like a Smurfs chest rig and an armored vest.
Mm.
But because I'm so Western rifle theory build, if you will, I really need a plate carrier. So yeah, that's why I run it. And then the belt setup is just a Smirsh, but it's just the belt.
Okay.
And then I like to do this dumb thing where I grab like a hip paddle holster and I just shove it in my duty belt and it works. It's sturdier that way
Yeah.
and it's right at my hip. I usually run a Mark 23. Sometimes I run other things like the HK45. I'm working on acquiring a Yugoslavian or Sech holster for my Visa 61 Scorpion. That's that little tiny submachine gun, the like Sech 32 ACP submachine gun. But we'll see. That's also going to be very expensive. All right, now on to the fun part, my guns. So in this picture, sorry, audio users, haha. I'm using my PKM, so it's an A&K PKM that's been heavily modified. It has, then this is an essential upgrade, by the way, a bull gear hop up. That thing is fucking flawless, and
Hmm.
it's been flat hopped as well, so it has that nice insert or R hopped or S hop something. I don't fucking know. There's so many of those different acronyms that I
I don't know what they
completely
are either,
forgot.
man. I have no
I
clue.
just I know they put like a certain type of insert that's supposed to increase the range, and I'll tell you what, I'm basically at sniper rifle range with that thing.
Really?
Almost, yeah. I'm
I
not
mean, that's
quite.
good. What do you
I'm not
shoot? What weight?
point threes most of the time, point
Yeah.
two eights if I'm trying to save money. I'm not quite to the range of like those hyper optimized SRS builds, like the bullpup sniper rifles,
Right.
but I'm still like reaching out further than most rifle builds that are unmodified, so I consider it quite nice. Um, I'm using a full gear insert for the box mag in this picture, and I still have mine. I'm trying to phase it out and try to use the aforementioned Kiwi Milsims miniature box mag because it's like three times less weight
Yeah.
and then like a quarter of the size, and it still manages to hold something like 5,000 BBs, which is more than enough. I'd have to carry refills on a Milsim, but hey, who cares, right?
hmm
Um, Yeah, the Bulgare insert is actually okay. I've had a lot of electrical trouble and I've had to replace some components and recently I had to replace the entire electrical board.
Whoa.
But as with anything, you could
Did it
talk to
get
the
wet or
Russians that built
something?
it. Nope. Well, maybe
Okay.
it might have gotten, exposed to some like
Damn.
humidity or something like that, but
Hmm.
I'll never really know. It just stopped working some like one day.
Gotcha.
The really cool part about these mags is that they feed when you fire, so you never ever have to push like a pressure pad,
Yeah.
which is you don't have to think about
It's
that. That's
nope.
just so much nicer than
It is.
pressing something every 10 seconds. Like I had an
Yeah.
MG36 at one point and I had to do that and it was just acidifying.
Yeah,
But
the box mag my son had for his 249 was automatic fed as well. Like I don't know
yeah,
what brand it was. I don't know. All I know is you didn't
either
have
A
to
and
wind it. You didn't
K.
have to touch anything. You didn't have to press anything. And
Yeah. It was
it
probably just a switch, right?
yeah, you flip the switch on, right? You could turn it
Yeah.
off. Yep.
Yeah, and it constantly feeds. Yeah. I don't like those ones much because they do eventually wind out the motor and they make a lot of noise, but
Yeah,
they also work. It's the important part.
it did make a
Full
lot of
gear,
noise. Yeah.
full gear isn't always guaranteed to work.
Okay.
However, what I'd recommend is if it stops working and you have one, is you go find their Telegram and talk to them. Because even though it takes like an hour or so for them to understand what's happening, they will send you stuff, usually either for free or for a small shipping fee.
Yeah,
And the fact that they're willing to do that all the way from Russia says a lot about them as a
it
company.
does. Right.
So quite cool.
Well, the
Um,
other thing too is about your kit and your gear, like your camo and stuff. The uh the Russian setup is really popular. Like it's been popular for quite a while in
oh yeah,
airsoft. Like
yeah,
Milsim
it's
West, they run their whole other faction is Russian. The guys
us
even
four, dude,
speak
us
Russian,
four. Yeah, if you're
which
that
is
much of
pretty
a
immersive.
what's a really kind word for the statement I'm willing to make here? If you're that much of a LARPer.
Yeah, LARPer. There you go. See, you
Yeah,
can be nice
I can be.
and
Yeah,
not
who
shit
knows?
post. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we also have local to us. There's the Green Bean teams. Shout out to them. I know Fiona and Zach personally. They're both very nice people. But they run the Russian VDV Air Force, or excuse me, paratroopers. So they all of their kits are immaculate. They're all pretty good players, and yeah, go check out Green Beans on Instagram. I believe is their Instagram handle. But yeah, what else is going on with the PKM? It has a replica Zenico rail, which is hilarious. I got it for forty
It has
dollars
a
plus
what
like
now?
replica Zenico handguard. Did I say something else?
Rail, but yeah,
Oh,
okay.
hail. Yeah, rail.
That's cool.
It's really nice because the actual one is, of course, like bombastic amounts of money because of import tax and
Oh,
CNC. It's
yeah,
something
right.
like over $500 is the answer.
No,
Um,
no
yep,
thanks.
yeah. And there's the replica you can get for $80, but if you go on 6 millimeter Pro Shop, it's like 40 plus shipping.
Hell yes.
Yep. And then you can also see my custom stock on the back there.
Yep,
We already talked about that. It's just printed out of PLA Plus. It adds a sling point. It's like 3/4 the length of the original one,
yeah,
and that also like centers your doesn't center it pulls your center of gravity more towards you, so you aren't like front heavy. You're
exactly.
still kind of front heavy, but I remember when I'm a big guy, when I first started shouldering the weapon with its full stock,
Yeah,
um, it caused actual pain and it caused like a stamina drain for me to actually try to aim it while standing
sure. Yeah, because your arms are
versus
extended out so far.
there yeah, and there's the gun weighs 30 pounds when it's fully
Woo,
loaded.
buddy.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
when it
meant to
has
be.
the original
It's a
box mag.
machine gun. They're meant to be set on a tri or a bipod. So
Yeah, well, it's
you know,
also a medium machine gun, so it's going to
yeah,
be a lot heavier than just your fucking like
little
featherweight
light one. Yeah,
249. Yeah.
exactly.
Um. So yeah, it definitely feels a lot better. I can actually aim with it and not have to like strain myself. But yeah, like I said, I benched like 275 for five.
Okay.
So I'm not like some shrimp that's like trying to fucking hold an M4. I can
No,
theoretically do this,
you
but
can manhandle the gun. Yeah, right.
yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
just it's 30 pounds of steel and plastic.
Well, I saw you in the other picture with your buddies back here. Get an idea, right? So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think you've had Ghost on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's, he's
Yeah,
been
you're a
very
big
fun to
dude.
play with. I'd say
So you
so.
you can handle your guns.
Yeah. This is a fun picture. Again, sorry for all those audio users. I was just like in the parking lot at one point at UBG, and I found like a box of cigarettes on the ground. And I was just like, I'm going to use this for photo opportunity. I'm not actually going to smoke these. Um, and so I did. Ended up throwing them out because I was like, oh, I should just find someone that smokes and give it to them. And then I was like, what if I like contribute to them getting cancer?
What if they're laced? What if
Yeah, there's
who
that. That would be like the
who knows?
turbo like conspiracy theory moment, but I was just like, I'd feel bad for like contributing to someone's addiction is the
They
main
start
reason
they're like,
I
"Oh
didn't do
man, I
that.
just ran out of my smokes. Thanks a lot, dude." And they light one up and they're like
I
two puffs
hallucinate.
in, they're going, "Oh, what are these bunny rabbits over here?"
I'd leave. I'd leave immediately.
I don't know where those came from. What? I don't
Yeah.
know whose cigarettes
Follow them
those
over
are.
there. I'll be right back. Trust me. I'm just getting some milk. Thank you. Bye.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well, what's your this these are your short weapons down here.
yeah, this is the sad tale. This is my F2000. This is one of the loves of my lives. Uh, it's just a really cool rifle.
Were you
This is act
comfortable shooting that, like the
Oh
bullpup style? Really?
yeah.
I can't
I
get used to them,
I
man.
don't care
Okay.
about like I have long arms so I can reach wherever.
Right, right.
But that thing is a dream to reload. It's so buttery smooth.
Really?
It's not nearly as good as I think the best bullpup reload is the PDRC because
Hmm,
it has the magazine release where the M4 one would be, but it's a
gotcha.
bullpup, so all you need to do is just reload like normal almost. It's
Yeah.
just you put your arm somewhere else. This is the G&G one though, and it had a micro switch trigger from Shadow Regime. It was really good until it stopped working, and it tends to do that really easily. I have the newest revision of G&G's F2000,
Yeah.
and I have a parent in it, and it doesn't seem to want to work. So I'm probably going to contact G&G at least one more time, see if I can get anything to do with it. But if you played Splinter Cell like I have, it's like the cool gun to have.
Yes, it
If you're a
is.
Sam Fisher appreciator. Um, that
Oh, I
actually
mean, it
brings
looks badass. I love the design of the F2000. And if you have a suppressor on it,
it's
like in the game, it's
gorgeous.
freaking awesome, dude. Yes.
Yeah, I have the P90 grip from Worker. They're actually a company that makes a bunch of shit for like modded out Nerf guns, but they also make some pick rail attachments
Oh,
because there are
okay.
certain Nerf guns that take pick rail.
Hmm.
So yeah, that actually brings me into another one of my designs. I have a 5.7 on here somewhere, right? Might be up more, just so the video guys can see as well. Nope, it would be down. Of course, it's down.
Ooh, that's a good picture.
Yeah, that's all my FN stuff right there.
Hmm.
I can't believe I don't have a picture of it. I might, I might have to stream it just to.
You can share the screen. If you, I'm sure you know how to do all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I probably do. Yeah,
Ooh, this is a nice
that's just
build too.
unbelievable. Oh, that's actually the early revision of my Scorpion Evo.
Got the boot.
Yeah, the big pistol grip.
I don't know why, dude, but I love the way that looks.
It's an
I
okay
know
pistol grip. PTS is actually putting out a new motor grip for AEGs.
this.
So as soon as that comes out, I am getting it.
Yeah.
My pistol grip actually just failed for that, and I just had to get a replacement for
Mm.
80 something dollars. Thank you very much, Scotland. I hate you. Um, because there was a Scottish airsoft site, and that was the only fucking place that had it, and I was pissed out of my mind because
Yeah.
it was like $50 in shipping. I'm like, what are
Oh
you
God.
talking about? You fucking losers. Um, yeah. So that's just it's extraordinarily upsetting. Yeah, I'll share my screen for a quick
Yeah,
second
go
as
ahead.
well. So problem about the Airsoft Tokyo Marui 5.7. Let's see, where's the if you own one, there's two problems really. One of them is that it doesn't take green gas. You have to take low power gas, otherwise it leaks, and then you could start to have all kinds of no fun issues, like having to figure out where the leak is, sealing it. I actually do one of the dumbest things I can ever think of, and I just super glue the gap that it creates, and it seems to work
Hmm.
for some god reason. And then at that point, it can take green gas because the glue is such a strong bond, and I don't
Yeah.
recommend anyone else doing this. I just got lucky a few times. The glue is so strong, it forms a great enough bond for me to just like have green gas going, and I don't know how it does that.
That's wild.
Um, this is embarrassing. Where do I? Oh, never mind. I didn't ask anything, by the way. So yeah, you can actually buy a threaded barrel. I think it's even like steel instead of the plastic outer barrel.
Yeah.
Um, no, you know what it is? It's the inner barrel. It's steel as well, and then it just has threads on the outside of it. And you have to get it's an 11 millimeter thread instead of like a 14 millimeter thread.
Okay.
So you'd have to like get some adapter and then do all this nonsense and blah blah blah. It doesn't work well. What I ended up doing was I upgraded the barrel because of course I did. It's like a 6.02 or something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
6.01. Put a new bucking in there because I got to do that as well. And then I designed this tracer unit housing that latches onto the pick rail in front.
Hmm.
Kind of looks like the suppressor from the later Splinter Cell games.
Yep.
And then it just has the space in there for a G&G UVT 106. And it's worked flawlessly. It's a little
Huh.
hard to holster, obviously, but I can just get,
Right.
like the what probably works best for it is those thigh holsters that are like fabric, and those work fine.
Yeah,
Just
those
actually
or
have to find the
the
right one.
trigger guard holster. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, no, I have one of those for my Mark 23
Hmm.
DDT one. That is the best holster ever made, but they have to be custom made for the gun, and I don't
Okay.
think they have one for, excuse me, the 5.7 yet. But yeah, that's the trick with the 5.7. I use that sometimes. It's really quite fun indoors. Um, it's a really fast pistol. I had one point in my life where I didn't want to use Japanese handguns for a while because
Yeah.
like Tokyo Marui, you gotta have the low power gas. Um,
Oh, right.
even if you're like running green gas out of them somehow, they're gonna have high FPS. They're gonna break a lot. The parts are expensive. But then I just ended up in a state where I have all Japanese pistols. Really, the only ones that aren't are the H&K 45, which is KWA and Elite Force, and KWA for the VZ61. Aside from that, I have a few collector's items, which you may have seen on my Instagram. I have a KSC Mark 23, which is blowback. It's from 1997 or 1993. I can't remember which. And then I
Ooh,
have
yeah, let me pull that
a,
up again.
oh yeah, yeah, go for it. And then I have a Mateba, which is Mateba from Erosion. That's right. Yeah. So that is quite a fun gun. I'm trying to get the shells to work on that. But yeah, that's actually my first kit ever. Don't have that up for too long. That's quite embarrassing. Yeah,
Okay.
you can see the aforementioned ARP 5.56 there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it looks awesome.
it was a really good gun. I ditched it for my Evo, but I had a lot of fun with that gun. I highly recommend it to any newcomers. It was a nice trigger. It's an M4 and it has M4 mag compatibility. Sure, nowadays that point is kind of moot because nowadays there's like a bajillion 9mm carbines and
Yep.
there's no end in sight for those mags.
Right.
So you can just, yeah, don't need any of that.
Exactly.
But
Damn, that's
it's,
a long trace run there.
yeah, that's the FNX 45. I really wish I had one of these still. But I also did a trick where I would grab that suppressor and I cut off the end of its barrel extension. It's a power up suppressor, right? So it has a longer inner barrel
Hmm.
that slots into the end of your pistol's
Oh, okay.
barrel.
Yeah.
So I just cut out the end of it and throw a tracer unit in there, and then it's also a tracer. Gives the FPS a little bump, and then traces your BBs. Very important for CQB environments.
When was the last time you played CQB?
Oh, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So you'll bounce in between like the Mobros events and then go CQB.
Yeah, if it's raining. Actually, it was more
Oh
like a
yeah.
month ago, but yeah, I last played at Advanced Action Sports. I highly recommend them.
Yeah.
I actually recommend Extreme Airsoft a bit more because I used to work there, so I have to
Oh,
do
nice.
the employee shill moment. Um, you know, I worked with all the owners there, including Nick. Nick is one of my favorite people. So
Extreme, isn't that up in Rhode Island?
it is in fact, yeah,
Okay.
North Kingston, RA,
Are you in
Oakfield.
Rhode Island or are you in
Yep.
New Hampshire? Okay.
No, I'm a Rhode Islander. Unlike most of my
Gotcha.
team, who is Maine and yeah, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Tough word. Um, yeah. So
Okay.
I like that field a lot.
I've
It's
heard a
got
lot of good things about Extreme, man, for
oh
real.
oh yeah,
Like nothing but good.
nothing but good. Yeah. I have to say, it's improved a lot over the years. Like when
Yeah.
I first started going to it, it had a mandatory safety rule, and that wasn't much fun.
Yeah.
Um, but the store has always been amazing, and the store is still amazing. It's the largest airsoft store in the Northeast. There's no other
Mm,
one that's that big. Um,
really?
yeah, no, I guarantee that. I've been to every other one in the Northeast, and for what I've seen, that is the largest.
Yeah.
So,
That's
absolutely.
cool.
It has wonderful staff, it has wonderful owners. It has a speed QB field as well as a regular field for your us normies. Um,
Hmm.
so if you want to just be a regular CQB airsoft field, you can just go there. And then all the speed softers, they hang out in the speed soft field.
Right.
There's very little intermingling, um, which is good and bad. They're still good players, but at the same time, you have some Millstone players that would probably shit their pants if they came anywhere near them, so I get it.
Dude, I love the videos. I love the memes where short videos where they're playing milsim and a speed softer comes blasting through.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah, I
fun.
mean, like, say what you will about those guys, but they are athletic as all get out. Like
For sure.
they like fucking vault over the cover, they slide, they like full on dive into concrete most of the time, concrete
Uh-huh.
floors. And then they just like again, they slide for like 10 feet
Yep.
and they're running around like all the match time. So the other cool thing about Extreme, they have a little spectator area for you to just watch them. And you know what? I could make an entire day of just like watching these guys go to town on each other. And actually, they do have ESL is the name of the league, I believe. They have some speed soft tournaments that are really, really big coming in.
Yeah.
So you can watch those. It's a
Hmm.
spectator event, man. Like, what else can you say about that? That's so fucking cool.
It is
So
cool.
good for those guys.
Well, if I were to put together a milsim team, I would get one or two guys that were speed softers, and just to break up the like it would confuse the enemy like big
Oh
time.
yeah, yeah.
Like you
You have
don't
to
know.
have like
Wait a
a
minute,
fire
everyone's
team,
standing
but
behind cover and shooting behind trees, and this,
and then there's this
Connex box
cracked
over here,
out
and then these dudes
maniac.
are just like zooming on the sides.
Yeah, someone who's actually on methamphetamines running towards me as like mock Jesus. What
Get
is
over here
going
and
on?
snort your
Who is
line,
this
bitch,
man?
and then run.
Yeah, yeah. Take the pre-workout, get out there.
Makes your skin tingly. Okay.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah,
That's the kind of pre-workout I like.
good shit, man. Good
Yeah,
shit.
right.
Yeah, I feel bad. I've talked a bunch this whole sesh. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Because fun fact, I arrived so unprepared that I did not listen to a single episode before this.
No, it's
Went
fine,
in,
dude.
I
I don't
I
expect
went
people
in
to do that.
blind. Went in blind. That's the actual plan.
Yeah. Well, I did too, kind of. I mean, I looked up, I saw your Instagram, I saw your YouTube. I didn't watch any videos, but I looked through your pictures and stuff. And but I used to do a lot of research on somebody before I had on the podcast, and it was I was getting some kind of responses that were like, "Oh, that's creepy," like that you knew that about me. I'm like,
Oh,
so
well, I mean, like it's
because
all
when
on
I
the
go down
internet.
these rabbit holes, man, you look at somebody, I'm like, oh, they own an airsoft field. Okay, well, uh, where's it at? Or what's this? And I start clicking around and I look up the business listing, right?
Yeah,
And I see and then I find and then that brings up like their LinkedIn, which I would have never found through the airsoft thing. But
and
so
then you're like, oh, you work at
you used
fucking
to work at GameStop?
GG Steels. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that I can see how someone would be
And they
bothered
were
by
like,
that.
how what where did you find that at? And I'm like, oh, it's on your LinkedIn. Like, oh,
You were
that's
looking at my
weird.
LinkedIn? Yeah. Yeah, to be
So
fair, I would also be in that crowd.
yeah, so
I would like
I
to
don't
not disclose where I work.
I don't well, I mean, this was like 20 years ago for this person, but yeah, it's well, and the reason I asked him is because I worked at GameStop. I ran a GameStop store here in South Carolina like a long time ago.
You're in South Carolina?
Uh-huh.
I was
Yeah.
just there.
Where
That's
at?
where my girlfriend grew up. So
Oh, no shit.
yeah, yeah. Charleston.
Okay. Yeah, that's about 3.5 hours for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
big fucking state. I'm used to
I know,
Rhode
right?
Island distances where it's like an hour is the
Oh, gotcha.
longest you have to drive. So I'm like, 3 hours? What is he talking about?
Yeah. It's so we're what they call the upstate, Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Right by there. So Charleston's beautiful, man. Okay.
It is in fact beautiful. Yeah, that
It
is a
really is.
fucking gorgeous city.
It's
Like
got so
place like
much
right
good
on the
history too.
water.
Yeah, it's got the college
Oh
there.
yeah,
A lot of party areas out there, like fun, a lot of cool stuff to do.
yeah.
And then when
No,
it rains a
it
little
was
bit,
awesome.
it doesn't even have to like be a hurricane, man. It rains just a little bit and it floods Main Street because it's so
Yep,
low.
it was
It's like
flooded when I was there. So yeah.
there's a group of paddleboarders that go down and like
No
paddleboard up
way.
and down Main Street. It's fucking awesome.
That is so
So
funny.
but
I
yeah,
wish I
so I
stayed for that part.
uh anyone's watching or listening, y'all have heard this story. Like a bazillion times, so you can fast forward like 2 minutes, okay? But no, my background, we started this channel 5 years ago. The podcast started about 3 years ago. The channel itself started because I was coming out of being paralyzed. I was
Oh my
happy,
God.
healthy, and sane, partially sane, before
Yeah.
I was struck with this thing called Guillain-Barré syndrome. It's an autoimmune disorder. They don't know what caused, most autoimmune disorders, they don't know what starts it, like what actually kicks it off in your body. But
Jesus. Either
whatever it
way, I'm
is.
very sorry for you going through that disease.
Yeah, dude, thank you.
Of
And
course.
so, yeah, from the time like my hands stopped working, my feet stopped working, and then a
Oh,
week later, I'm in bed staring at the ceiling, and I couldn't talk. I could breathe.
you could breathe. Okay, yeah,
I could
wow.
breathe. So
Christ.
the doctor wanted me to go to the hospital. I didn't want to go. So he was like, if you get any worse, go to the hospital because you can tank fast. And most people end up on
Yeah.
respirator. And I was like,
Oh,
that's fine. Well, I get home and I'm laying in bed and I'm staring at the ceiling and I'm like, I was trying to talk to my wife and I was um, like I just couldn't, I could say like one word and then everything would just stop. So it's a neurological thing that basically there's a breakdown in your nerves, so it's not receiving a signal from your brain, and this attacks every nerve in your body. So fingers, toes, like your tongue, like everything that uses muscle to move, that which is most everything. So so yeah, it was very traumatic at the time, and then coming out of that took a while, but coming out of that, I started a couple YouTube channels just to give me something to do. I actually hated YouTube, like for my kids. Like I didn't want them on YouTube, like back then,
yeah. Depending
before
on how
that.
old they are, that is a perfect reasoning.
Yeah, I was just like, when they were teenagers and stuff, they're like, oh, this thing called Vine used to be popular. And
This thing called Vine, he says, like I didn't fucking grow up there.
and I was like, they're like, Dad, look at this funny video. And I'm like, get that, get off of that thing. Let's go outside and do something. Okay. So we go outside and, shoot or what we can shoot in our backyard out here. And, or
Oh,
I had them, carve sticks. Okay. I
yeah,
was
that's how
like,
you do it. Are any of them
yeah,
Boy Scouts? You got any boys?
yeah, I got 3 boys, 2 girls.
Get them in the Boy Scouts. As long as they're
they, they were,
good, as long as it's a good troop, then I can recommend it because that's where all my
oh yeah,
survivor skills came from. So
dude, it's great,
most
man.
of
Yeah. We had,
my happy childhood memories came from Boy Scouts. So
yeah, it's a great, it's a great class and group for them to be around. And they did. And I mean, they're all in their 20s now. All of our kids are moved out. We have 5 kids, 7 grandkids.
oh,
Our
good for you,
oldest
man.
kid, yeah, our eldest is going to turn 30 in 2 weeks. And
Hmm.
then our youngest is 22. She's going to turn 23 in 2 weeks. So,
Wow.
uh, so we have 20, well, let's say a 30-year-old, 28, 26, 25, and 20, about to be 23. So, but yeah, all the boys, yeah, we'd go outside and do stuff. I would have never started a YouTube channel, but I needed something to keep my mind active and keep me from blowing my brains out because I
Yeah.
was pretty depressed. And
I can see why.
yeah, so and I was on steroids. They had me on steroids. I gained 100 pounds in 5 months. I had problems with
Were you like anemic at some point? Like really skinny due to
no, I was no,
paralysis?
I was 210 pounds when I got sick.
Okay.
I was in, I mean, not great shape, but halfway decent shape.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so uh I wasn't, yeah, so I still worked out and I, lifted and stuff like that. I mostly lifted like uh just heavy things in the backyard, rocks and
Yeah, that's
logs
a lot
and
of guys.
yep. And I loved digging and chopping wood. So I would dig and chop wood. So I would dig
Very
the
good male
ditch.
activities. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I love the smell of fresh dirt. And give me a shovel, man. I'm serious, dude. I would be happy all day. It's
You know
such a
what?
weird thing.
You would make an excellent D&D dwarf. Loves to dig, loves to chop some woods.
Yeah,
What's more to life after that?
I'm happy with doing that, man, for real. But so anyway, yeah, I started these YouTube channels, and then my boys came home one time from with their friend, and they had some airsoft guns that looked badass, and I was like, dude, let me film that and start a new channel, and we did, and that was 5 years ago. So we did unboxings. Our channel started out as unboxings and reviews.
Oh, that's a crazy fast way back in the day then.
Yeah, it
Good
was
for
fun.
you.
So we didn't like, they didn't care about the channel too much. Like they just wanted to play airsoft,
Yeah.
and I needed something to do, so it worked out great. And I was like, I don't want to be in the videos. I just want to film, and I'll edit and I'll post and I'll do all this stuff. And you guys do all this stuff. Well, then they were just going to play. Well, then Johnny, who got him into it, their friend from growing up, childhood friend, got him into it, and he says, man, they got these Airsoft has these mystery boxes you can buy, and they have this and this, and it's called a box of awesomeness. I was like, what?
Yeah. Good
I
old
can't turn that down. Let's go. Like, get
Yep.
one. So we
99% of gamblers pull out before they're about to win big. That's my advice. Do not do that. Do not do anything I just said. Stop right now. Do not use your son's college fucking fund on that. Stop right there.
Oh, dude. So we bought so there was three of them on the channel. They were Johnny, and then two of my sons, Colton and Christian. And that's how we started the channel. And it was, it was great for the first 2 years. And then we put in some gameplay and stuff. They were going to big events like Mill Sims, like you guys do. They were doing a 3-day events, Third Coast Airsoft, and uh, there was a couple other ones. Anyway, they were fairly close around here. So they did that. And then when they all got busy, they were in their early 20s. They got married, they started having kids, they bought a house, and blah, blah, blah. And nothing, they stopped getting all this airsoft stuff. And so I kept the channel going with
Oh.
podcasts. And I didn't officially make it a podcast until probably episode like until I was probably in like 30 or 40 episodes, maybe
Wow.
50.
All right.
And then it became kind of a passion because when I was talking with people, and I still at this time I couldn't get out of the house. I could
Yeah.
walk down the hall, I could walk around the house, and I could walk outside a little bit, but I could stand. Okay, so like in my videos when we're doing the reviews and stuff, I could stand, and I look like I'm good to go. But give me a couple of little steps, and yeah, forget it. My legs
Yeah.
didn't work
I
right.
imagine you
So
couldn't pick stuff up that well either.
no, yeah, my finger, yeah, right, dude. That's the thing.
Ugh,
It's such a weird thing, like
it's awful.
holding a
Again, very sorry that you went through that.
like gripping this, right? Like
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
tight with your fingertips. Forget it.
Yeah.
Um, so uh yeah, so I was like talking to these guys on here with these podcasts, and I thought, man, it's like therapeutic for me. And after a
Yeah.
bunch of that, I I said, I want to give back. Like this has helped me so much. I want to do that for somebody else. And so that's when I really decided to make it a podcast. And that's where we're at now. So
So do you actually play?
no,
What?
no.
Oh my. All right. Well,
Yeah. So I've been to an indoor field with them twice.
okay.
I've been to 3-day mill sim twice.
Nice.
And each time just filmed as press. I got a press pass.
Yeah, yeah.
I could
I've
play.
seen
I
many
could
camera
play.
guys. I
I could
think
walk to the field. I could walk to like a tree line and stand behind a tree and shoot.
okay.
Um,
But
that to
running,
me, that's not fun
yeah.
because I can't juke and move. Okay.
Yeah. Is it still that bad?
uh, no, I'm way better. I'm way better.
Mm,
So I guess as an example, if I go out in the front yard and do some, if I mowed the grass,
yeah.
uh, I I could probably walk uh, the length of a football field at a slow pace. But by the time I get to the end, I'm either just standing forever for
Yep.
like hours until my calves can build up again, or
Oh,
I'm gonna have to lay down. So,
Christ.
yeah,
That is awful.
And I'm going to tell you what's frustrating, dude, is I get so like I have so much energy. I'm kind of a hyper person. I like to get out and do stuff, right? So I'm
I'm
like,
very
oh man, I
familiar.
feel great. Okay, yeah.
But then
So
as soon as you go out, it's
yeah, and then
oh,
I can last like 5, 10 minutes, and then my knees start wobbling, and I'm like, no, not yet. Hold on, I want to go do this. So, but it's cool, man. I'm not, I'm very grateful where I'm at. So,
yeah.
but that's how we
I'm
started.
grateful for God for making you survive, man. That is
Thanks, dude.
quite something.
Yeah.
Quite something. Uh, wish it never happened to you though.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that too numerous times, and I'm like, I don't think I would
I'm
change
sure.
anything because of who I am now. I'm a lot different.
Yeah.
I had a lot of anger issues before I got sick.
Oh,
Yeah, I was really impatient. I was really hard on my kids. I was a yeller.
yep.
Uh,
I
like I was in the Marine Corps, so I was like, okay, this is how you get results. You yell in their face, okay?
wonder
Like
if my
give them
mom was in the
orders.
Marines.
What's that?
I wonder if my mom was in the Marines because she's the same way. Sorry, sorry. No, no.
Maybe. Um, yeah, so well, he was in the Navy, but he was a yeller. He was like, that's how he got results from us kids. And and then I got kicked out of my house. I was 17. And I went in the military, and then my parents and I were good after that and everything. It was fine. But uh yeah, so I was pretty strict with our kids, and but
Sounds like
the
they turned out all right.
last 10 years, yeah, they're great, man. We all get along fine, like we're close and stuff, but I was pretty impatient, kind of yeah, it's kind of an asshole a lot of times, to be
Well,
honest. And
you kind of have to be an asshole to be a parent, so don't beat
yeah,
yourself up
well,
too
that's true.
much.
That's true. But I like who I am now. Yeah, and I like who I've met through here, through this thing. I would have never, like I said, I would have never started this. So this wouldn't have
Yeah,
happened. So yeah,
I wish you could play, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. I promised everyone that's been on here. A lot of people ask me. I always promise I'm gonna go play. I just need to find the right time. So
Yeah, maybe a few more years of physical therapy if you're on that kind of routine.
yeah.
I just don't know enough about the disease, so I couldn't tell you much. I'm an engineer by trade, so
Okay.
medical things aside from like immediate first aid, has to do with like stopping a wound or like stopping someone from choking. I'm kind of useless in that department, so
Yeah. So
yeah.
what were you good at math? Is that why you went to engineering? Or were you interested in building
Haha,
stuff?
that's a funny joke. Yeah, no, I was um good at brute forcing math to
Hmm.
be in a certain place to actually do it. The big filter for most engineers and all my engineers, you pour one out. Calc two. We hate calculus two.
Gotcha.
That's when you start encountering things like integrations and all that crazy shit. Um, so that's where most engineers, as the youngins say, get filtered. So I passed that after the third time. Um, and I actually got my degree from New England Institute of Technology. They they're pretty good. It's also where I taught coincidentally because I taught for a blueprint reading class
Oh,
for a
nice.
big old company called Electric Boat. They make our nation's submarines. So yeah, um, they're a bit more hands-on, which is why I succeeded there, and not my original school was Wentworth Institute of Technology, and they believe in the great policy of giving you homework until you stay up every night until like 2 a.m. Yeah, I hated that place.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, that's my education from
Nice.
Hunsies, I suppose.
Do
But
you
yeah,
use
the
yeah,
big thing I loved about engineering, I still love to this day, is just being able to design something, being able to solve a problem. Like I had the problem with the
I was gonna
TM57.
say it probably
Can't
carries over
take
into
a
airsoft, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
the 57, it can't take a muzzle
Sure.
accessory. What do? I make it
Hmm.
take a muzzle accessory. PKM, same deal, man. Fucking stock is too unyieldy. It makes the thing way too front heavy. What do? I make my own stock. Uh-uh. So
I mean,
yeah,
that's good, dude. Yeah, you got to have some aptitude for that kind of stuff too. And that's,
I
yeah,
firmly believe that everyone can be an engineer in some way or another, whether it be like one that has a degree and does that as their job, or someone that's just like, hey, like let's go to fucking Brandon over there because he knows exactly what we need to do for this manufacturing process. You know, he doesn't have to have a degree. He's been there for 10 fucking years or whatever, and
right.
he's the guy. You know, you go to
Uh-huh.
him to solve problems. If it's like this, you're encountering this flaw. He's like, oh yeah, dude, I saw this like 5 years ago. The engineering mindset is everywhere once you know what to think, look for.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like some like the airsoft hobby in general, just as a whole, if somebody gets involved in it, I think it will bring out a lot of aptitude that they didn't know that they had because there's not a whole lot of, I don't know what you call it, avenues or venues or areas where, growing up from 0 to 20, let's say, or 18, there's not a whole lot of stuff that they could get involved in that would bring that out, unless they're kind of they're friends in a 3D printing, they get into it, and so they have to figure stuff out how things work and fit, and
Yeah, 3D
but
printing is the engineering avenue.
yeah,
It's like the funnel for that shit.
yeah, right.
You get a little kid a 3D printer, and then you'll have an engineer in like 10 years, guaranteed, guaranteed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's also kind of how I started. I had 3D printing in high school.
Okay.
I never started, or I never stopped rather. So actually, I have I don't know how to turn up my background, but yeah, I'll save it for another day. But I have an FDM printer or a filament printer. I have a Bamboo Labs A1, and then I also have a Mono M5S resin printer. Fantastic
Ooh,
product. Yeah. So I've
that's a
been
good one. Okay.
oh yeah, it's ginormous. It's like got a 12K resolution screen as well, so it's high detail. I play a lot of BattleTech as well for those that know what that is.
Okay. You build the
Tabletop war
robots
game.
that fight, basically.
Yeah, build the robot that fights. Yeah, that's right.
What do you have, tracks or wheels, or is that
Nope.
the little cars that, is that the robot or the one you're talking about?
No, they're just static figures. Um,
Oh, okay.
but you know, like since it's a sci-fi military game, there's like mechs, which are walking tanks.
Yeah.
There's also regular tanks. There's also, because it was made in the 1980s, hover vehicles like the ones you see that have the skirts and all. They're
Yeah.
not like anti-gravity vehicles like you see in other sci-fi properties, but
Right.
they're just kind of there. It was speculated in the 80s that we would have a shit ton of them by now, and it's just like, oh, it turns out having a bunch of fans is a really good way to get them blown out in combat, which also happens in game, by the way.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a really fun hobby. I highly recommend it, especially if you have a 3D printer. You just have free models all the time. So,
Okay.
yeah, there you
So
go.
it's like 40,000. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are into
Oh,
Warhammer.
yeah,
Yeah.
War Thou, yeah, Warhammer 40,000. So there's a channel called Snipe and Whip. They call it War Thou. So,
Nice.
but yeah, it's a bit better than that. The rules are they don't come out every 2 years, and you have to buy a new set of rule books for a total of $200. You just buy one rule book. Forget this, $40, and they haven't changed some of the aerospace rules since like the 80s. So you can just
Nice.
have like one rule book that rules them all. And then there's the advanced rule books, but you don't have to do that. You can buy a bunch of models. You can get like $24, and then that's for $24. You have a force that you can play with. Or you can buy the Game of Honor Karma for 60, and have another force that you get to play with. And it comes with a rule book, it comes with maps, it comes with models, standees, and a little lore primer and a little short story. It's super cool. So if you're
That
if
is
you're into
cool.
sci-fi, I highly recommend BattleTech.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Battle Mech, you said.
BattleTech, as
Battle
in T
Tech.
with a T, tech. Yeah. Yeah. I, I was thinking just to combine the two hobbies. There are these power armor suits that are called battle armor.
Yeah.
I was like, what if I just like got one of those chainsaw M249s or the featherweight M249s and just made a battle armor suit out of it? It's Inner Sphere Standard is the one I would want to replicate, but it'd be pretty cool. I've always admired those guys that do like the power armor builds from like Fallout, and they'll play with those on. It's just like they have like the stilts, so they're like trying to balance as they run around.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that is a
Dude, I just
lot
saw
of
this
work.
video. Speaking of that, I just saw this video a couple days ago that there's like these guys are in an MMA ring. They're like it looks like a boxing ring,
Oh
and they're
yeah,
dressed as knights,
yep.
and they're going to town, bro.
That's what they did back in the day.
I mean, for real.
Yeah.
They're not holding back
No.
with their
No, it's
swords, with
it's
their
um it's
clubs.
literally called Knights MMA. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
That's I've seen it on my Instagram and I love that shit. I've
I
also
do
been playing
too.
a lot of For Honor, so that helps.
Oh, yes. Right.
Great game, great game.
I
Yeah,
sucked at
no,
that game, so I quit it.
fair. I probably was the reason because I play Centurion and half my job is
Okay.
making people rage quit. Um, anyway, yeah, they used swords as blunt instruments back in the day because like like
Right. You
slicing
beat the
someone
shit
is
out of
like
them
one
down.
thing, but it's hard to do that when they're wearing plate and chainmail. So better
Yep.
idea, grab the sword by its blade and hit the shit out of someone with the handguard.
That's right.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm trying to put together for a Renaissance fair like a Roman centurion build and
yeah.
also, the centurion from For Honor.
Right.
And if I do that, I could just show up as Caesar's Legion from Fallout New Vegas also for
Oh,
Airsoft.
that would be awesome.
It'd be really fucking funny.
Yeah, I would.
And then I just get to say to literally everyone, degenerates like you belong on a cross. And then I don't know, catch like a sniper round to the head, but sure.
Yeah, right.
That is quite the fate to happen over at UBG. It happens a lot because there's a lot of ghillie suit players, and
Yeah.
um, it's really hard to counter them because it's hard to visually see them. But gotta hand it to them because they must be dying of heat stroke in there,
I'm telling you now.
especially in like the New England. Oh well, you already know the South Carolina weather.
Yeah.
It's bad. It gets just as bad up here, so I don't get it.
Oh yeah, you guys get some hot and humid.
Humid especially.
Uh-huh.
Ah, it's like you're swimming through the air more than you are like walking through it. It's
Oh,
like
dude, for real.
mind-boggling. I hate it so much.
When I went to Okinawa, Japan, we got off the plane, we got there in June, and they opened the door to the plane, and I was like, I felt like I walked into a sauna. Have you ever walked into a sauna and you take that first breath?
And it's like a sauna in here, except it actually is a
Yeah,
sauna.
it really was, man.
Yeah, who
Like
needs one
I
of
had to
those? Just
like,
go outside.
holy cow.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
could
actually what I
barely,
do after I work out. I just walk outside and I'm like, oh, there's my sauna, dude.
it is.
It's truly the most despicable shit in the world because I hate humid weather and I hate heat.
Yeah.
As mentioned, I overheat pretty fast. I produce so much body heat that it's like anything past 60 degrees Fahrenheit, I start to sweat.
Yeah.
That's how bad my body is when it comes to this stuff. But if I'm in the cold, like I'm wearing a shortened t-shirt at 30-degree weather. It's great.
Say you'd probably do well in the wintertime up there.
Oh, I fucking love it. But the problem is global warming has taken most of that away from me.
Yeah.
We only get snow like once a year, if that.
Really?
It's gotten pretty bad.
That's so
Um,
weird.
it's really sad.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
grew up in the Northeast Ohio area, and we were in the what they call the uh we would get lake effect snow.
Yep.
So Lake Erie,
Oh yeah.
it would blow and it would, the wind would blow off of there and it was by the time it reached us, which we were about 30 to 40-minute drive south of Lake Erie, by the time it reached us, it'd be freezing rain up there. And then it would be snowflakes as big as golf balls by the time it reached us.
That is so cool.
Uh-huh.
How do we
When
get
I was
that
a
in Rhode
kid,
Island?
there were a lot of snowstorms where we could sled ride off the roof of our house.
No
Now it
fucking
wasn't a
way.
two-story. It was
Yeah, yeah, one
a
story,
slab
but
home.
still.
But we could sled ride off the roof of our house and it was
Mm.
freaking fun as shit, bro.
Yeah, my mom lived through something like that, the blizzard of '78 or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish it was like that, but the worst that ever happens is like we went below freezing last year. And that's about it. I actually love playing airsoft in the snow. You
Really?
can pull up my Instagram. Check
Yeah.
out the snow pics that I have up there. That's from this year, I believe. That's up.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, there's that one. I also played it. If you X out of this one, go all the way up. Yep, see that one right there in the center? Just right down, 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 down. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there
Ooh,
was
lots
like
of snow.
half a foot of snow on the ground. UBG. It's like 35 degrees out, Fahrenheit. So you still see your breath. It actually started snowing while we were playing, which was super
Mm-hmm.
cool. Even though I couldn't distinguish where my BBs were going, it was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Right.
Um, Obviously, the Russian kit gives me a few fucking benefits, like just being comfortable. And as soon as I kneel, I'm not any like wetness because I got knee
Mm-hmm.
pads.
Knee
And if I
pads.
do get wet, it's a quick dry suit. Even in the cold, it quick dries
Mm,
because your body heats it to the point where it's not freezing.
that's cool.
So it's a really well designed suit, obviously. Um, but yeah, tons of fun. I highly recommend that. You just gotta not slip on the ice, and then you're good.
What are you drinking here? Like a Russian beer?
Yeah, no, I wish. I don't drink beer, but the Russian beer would be an experience. It'd probably be an experience I would have to like lay down for afterwards for 24 hours. But this is Russian Coca-Cola because
Okay.
the commies couldn't have the Coca-Cola
Mm-hmm.
during, the embargoes. So nowadays there's still the embargoes from the war. But there was that one time like bought an entire Navy force from them and they just swapped it out for some fucking soda.
Nice.
Quite an interesting historical event. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what else about the snow? I've never actually done this, but I've always wanted to have a game mode where you just like get like 15 minutes as the defenders and you make a bunch of snow forts and then you just get rushed by a bunch of attackers. And that's the game mode.
That'd be cool.
It would be really funny. It'd be like I don't know how you'd structure an objective around that, but I think it would be super cool.
I mean, that's how I grew up. Our winters,
Yeah.
like I said, we had so much snow, and it was perfect temperature for it. So it wasn't too
Yeah.
cold. So it was great packing snow. So we would make forts on either side. And there was always kids in the neighborhood. So I grew up where you walk out, we go outside and the whole neighborhood has kids my age, a little bit older, a little bit younger,
Yeah,
but
it was the same thing in my place.
there's probably 10, 15, 20 of us sometimes. We could easily get a wiffle ball game going, which we did all the time. Played in the street, just run out of the way when the cars come by.
Yep.
Like, we didn't live on a too busy of a street. But in the winter, we're building forts. All right, you guys go over there. All right, this is our side. You start building your forts and you have a snowball fight. Like, and you can make some hella good snowballs, bro. Like
Oh
tennis
yeah.
ball size that are just packed so tight that don't fall apart no matter how hard you throw it.
Hit you with the
So
muzzle energy of a fucking truck, and yeah.
right. I mean, dude, those are what a yeah. It was I had a good childhood, man, honestly.
Yeah,
My parents
yeah.
were really strict when I was a teenager, but I don't blame them because my older sister was like um she was really good. Like she listened to everything and I was the rebel.
Wow. Yep.
So
No, I was the rebel too, so I get that.
so I think they were like, "Oh shit, what do we do?" And but yeah, and then my younger sister she was my little spy. Okay, she would always come and tell me what mom and dad were talking about or what they were going to do to me if they
Ooh,
found me doing this or
that's quite an important tool to have, actually.
it's great, dude. She was like,
I wish I had that because my little brother was just there to get me in trouble, and then
oh,
he was the favorite son because he
yeah.
wouldn't rebel. So
Well, now she started out being a
he's even
snitch,
admitted. So, oh no.
but
Yeah.
I mean, she started out being a snitch, but I beat the crap out of her. Not literally. I would tease her. I would get on,
Uh,
I'd wrestle her down and I would
yeah,
get on
yeah.
top of her and she's facing up and I would do that spit thing, that boys used to do back
No,
then.
no, no,
I
no,
wouldn't spit on her.
no.
I wouldn't spit on her, but I would drip it down and then suck it back
It's
up.
all right because it's a sibling, but yeah,
Yeah, right.
it's
So,
fair.
uh, that kind of stuff. I would, just pull her hair or whatever.
Get the noogies in there or something.
Yeah, yep. Charlie
We were
horses.
too big on the rough housing around here, but
Yeah. Well, I
we
couldn't
also
do
played a
too
lot of
much.
manhunt. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it was my
that's good,
sisters,
dude.
and my dad taught me young. I never hit a girl. Okay. I never hit my sisters. Like, don't ever hit a girl. Don't, that kind of thing. And then, if you ever, because they knew I teased my sisters. If you ever, hurt your sisters or do something, hit them or anything like that. And my dad was pretty strict. He was a big dude. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. But, she eventually turned and I convinced her to be my spy and it worked out good. So, yeah.
Hell yeah, that is super cool.
Do you have just one younger brother or do you
Just
have,
one younger brother. Yeah,
okay.
I've been trying to get him in Airsoft too as well.
Yeah.
He actually has this secret like sleeper build M4.
Mm,
It's not really a sleeper build. It's still stock, but it's this I think Matrix G3 gearbox. And it's just an M4 with a micro switch and then like standard internals.
yeah.
It comes to like just over $100.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It's so funny because it has a good trigger response. It kind of sounds sketchy, but for $100,
Still.
it's lipo ready out of the box. I think it has a really rudimentary MOSFET, so it can protect itself from batteries that are bad, and it'll
Yeah.
protect the battery if something goes bad as well. Um, but yeah, it's just this like fucking like crummy looking M4 with the carry handle and clamshell end guard.
hmm
Absolute classic. He was trying to go for the heat inspired like M4 loadout. So
Yeah.
bank robber shit.
Oh, dude, that movie's great.
It is in fact. I do prefer the town to that movie,
Oh, I
but
like the town too.
the
Okay.
town is great. Just
I
the
might have to go watch that again 'cause I
ending is
bought that.
perfect.
I have Heat and the town, but I've seen Heat recently. I want to say about 2, 3 months ago. I
Okay,
saw it again, and then, but I haven't seen the town.
it's
Actually,
great.
there's second person
There's
to
also two
mention it
endings
in
to
like
that movie.
in a month
Huh, well, look at
that I've
that.
talked with. So
It means you should watch it.
yeah, and it's been
Is what I'm
like
getting.
the last time I watched it was when it first came out. So
Oh yeah.
it's
Wait,
time.
when it first came out,
Yeah, dude.
that's like a decade ago, man.
No, it's not, bro.
The
Is it
town?
really?
Are you kidding
No.
me right now?
With Ben Affleck and fucking what's his face? Yeah. Don't no.
I'm
Don't
doing it to
no.
you. I'm doing it to you right
No,
now.
don't do it to me. Holy
December
shit.
2010, or excuse me,
Oh
September
my
2010.
God.
That is 14 years
It
old,
came
my
out
friend.
on my birthday in 2010.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. That's
Yeah, that
next month.
was 14 years ago, my
Holy
friend.
shit.
I'm very sorry to tell you.
Okay. Well, yeah,
There's
okay.
Jeremy
You know what?
Renner
No,
doing his
no.
best white guy gangster, by the way.
It is, man. This
I
movie's
do, you
great.
know what? I actually really love his performance in that.
Yeah.
I'm not going back in prison. I'm not.
Yep.
It just ends up getting shot in the head.
All these
Again,
guys. Yeah,
that is a
right.
perfect ending. That is just like how you should end a film about robbery.
Uh-huh.
So,
So what I love the town. I wasn't confusing it with I was confusing the when it released with the other one called Brothers. Is it Brothers? No, who is it? Um, it kind of reminded me the way it was filmed, it kind of reminded me of the town.
hmm,
And it had I want to say it had Affleck in it as well. But probably I don't know if it had Jeremy Renner in it.
probably not. If there's two heist movies with Affleck and Jeremy Renner, that would be kind of weird, right?
I don't know. I don't think it's a heist movie though.
Oh, okay, then maybe it's
Yeah.
something else. That
So,
I could see.
and that was just a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago or something. I can't believe it's been that long for the town though. Okay,
I in
so
fact can.
I do need to watch it again, but I have watched it since
And
it's
make sure
come
you
out.
watch both endings because there's a director's cut ending and then there's like the theatrical cut one.
I'll have to log into my account and see
I
which one I
forget which
bought.
is which. That
Yeah.
actually I should rewatch it at this point too, but just the endings. Yeah, no, I played a lot of Payday the Heist and
Dude,
Payday 2,
where's my
so
mask? I've got
no fucking
Dallas's
way.
mask.
I love Dallas's Mask. It's
Fucking
a
hey,
fucking
dude, who
classic,
doesn't?
right? Yeah,
Who
that's
doesn't?
actually something I've never seen out in the wild in Airsoft. You'd think there'd be like a ton of payday guys, but they don't make any like really good protection. I think some of them are mesh as well, and mesh is like a big no-go in the Northeast,
Yep.
which is good because telling you all this listeners, do not wear mesh eye pro. You
No.
will get BB shrapnel in your eye, and you
Yes, you will.
will have to get ocular surgery, and you will go bankrupt afterwards. Just fuck, or you'll lose an eye.
And you'll lose an
So
eye.
make a
I mean,
choice.
dude, that is not good.
Yeah, protect your eyes. Wear a mesh lower too. Protect your teeth, your pearly whites. You only
Yep.
get like one of those after you grow them out as a kid. And you know what? How else are you going to eat food? Like, come on, you want to eat through a straw? Uh, I'll tell you what, man. I need to eat like 200 fucking grams of protein every day. I'm not going to do it fucking sipping on a straw.
No shit, dude. Can you
Ugh.
imagine?
Yeah. I mean, I can.
Yeah.
I've done quite a few protein smoothies in my day, but I love them. But I need me some meat. I
Yeah.
need that protein.
Yes. Same. Yeah, I was doing the same when I was before I got sick. I had a workout routine that I would lift 3 days a week. I would run 3 days a week,
Oh, that's
and
nice.
yeah, and then I would do the 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So 200 grams protein a day, which is very difficult to keep up, man.
It is.
It's expensive either
It
way you
can
do
be.
it. Yeah,
It
it
can
can
be.
be like
If you get the chicken life hack, it's actually not that bad
what
because
is that?
you can get like well you can get like some chicken that's like some of the dark meat chicken, like say like just regular chicken drumsticks. I actually went over
Those
to
are
New
cheap.
Hampshire. Yep, it's like something like $2 or $3 per pound.
Yeah,
So you
it's very cheap.
figure like get a pound of that every day, and I don't know how much that is in protein. Probably like close to 100 grams if you get a big enough serving size.
Hmm.
And then like what 500 calories, 600 calories. There's this other big hack that I like to do. I call it my Goislop um, yogurt, where I take regular high protein yogurt, so up to 23 grams protein for 120 calories. Then you take granola, which is another 12 grams of protein.
Yeah, granola's great.
So we're at like 30 something or whatever. And then I mix 1 scoop of my protein powder in there. So that's
Mm,
another 20 grams of protein.
there you go.
Ends up being something like 70 or like 60 grams of protein
Yeah.
in like a meal or a snack almost. That's like, maybe 300 calories.
Hmm.
There's like half your protein income right there, man.
It
There it
is.
is. It's right there for the taking. I will say Goislop tastes awful. It's like basically trying to eat some met too because it's the protein powder just thickens up the yogurt.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the little flicks of granola in there. It looks gross. I like it. It's really scuffed, but um yeah, when you gotta hit those macros, there's nothing better.
Yeah, I used to mix yogurt and cottage cheese and
Oh yeah.
chunks. So what I would do is I would take a regular whatever size that is of, container of cottage cheese, the normal one you buy, and I would scoop like I would maybe half of it out, put it in another container, mix in 1 container of yogurt in each, and then I would put in my baked chicken cut up in chunks, put that in there as well, stirred up because I was trying to
In the yogurt
consolidate.
with the
Yeah, in the
cheese.
yogurt. I didn't care about the taste.
I
Uh,
yeah, I would have to assume so. Holy shit.
I didn't care about the
That
taste.
makes my Goislop look like fucking
Yeah.
kitty food.
Well, the good thing was it gave it a little bit of texture. Okay.
Yep.
And it's all protein, almost all protein. So it's a great source and it was easy to take to work. So it was really quick and easy to make, easy to take to work, easy to transport, and easy
Sure
to
you got
eat,
I'm sure you
eat
got
with a
some
spoon.
looks at work though, right? Did
Oh,
anyone at
dude, when I
work
ate in the
go like, what the
canteen,
fuck are you doing?
everyone would come over because so I would mix that, and then I had this other one. I would put dump a can of tuna fish, open a can. I
No.
wouldn't even drain the water. I would just dump it in the Tupperware
No.
container. I would cut up no, it's regular carrots. And have to, these are the good carrots, okay, not the little mini thing, whatever. Uh, not pre-wash or nothing, with the stalks on them, okay, like the real organic style,
Oh my
and just
God.
wash them off, cut them up, put them in
Yep.
the in there, and then put yogurt. I mean, cottage cheese on. and then
Oh,
stir it up. So when I opened
what
the
do you even
container,
call
my
this
buddies
stuff? You
would
at
come
least have
over
a
here.
funny name, right?
They would go, "What is that smell? What are you eating?" I'm like, "Dude, it's all
Oh.
protein. Come on." So
Yeah, but it tastes like fucking your ex or whatever,
I
man.
didn't care. It was gone so fast. And the good thing too is, dude, as far as like efficiency, all I needed was a spoon. I never needed any kind of utensils. It was so easy. Okay. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, if you can get past the taste, then I guess you can do all of that. But I I pale to imagine eating that, so I probably wouldn't be able to get past the taste.
Yeah, I didn't,
And
my taste buds
yeah,
don't work right, I guess, because
yeah, I think so.
I never cared. Like I don't know. And I would sit there, I'm reading this book. I've been reading since 92. Um, I never read anything after high school. And I was in the Marine Corps. We were
Yep.
stationed when I came back from overseas, stationed in California. One of the guys that got stationed there, probably 6 months after I was there, he's brand new, he's young, but he was pretty mature for his age, to be honest. And he never went out and party with us. Now he would come over and drink like at somebody's house or something. He didn't go to the bars with us or nothing, or the E Club. And he was a reader. He was a big reader. And
Oh
I
yeah.
said, "What are you doing, man?" He was like, "Man," he was reading Shogun. So anyone doesn't know, look up Shogun, the book, look up the paperback. It's like this thick. It's 1,000 pages.
Yep.
So for a non-reader, it's kind of intimidating to see. Like, oh, if you had to read that book, you're like, oh shit, okay. So he was reading that book when I went over to his place, and I was like, damn, dude, you act like an old man. What are you doing? Sitting here reading, drinking whiskey. And he's like, here, you'll enjoy this. So he throws me a book. It ended up being The Hobbit. I had no clue what it was.
Oh,
Didn't know anything about the story.
wow.
And I had not
To know
read
nothing about the
anything.
Hobbit, what
No,
in the
I knew nothing
world?
about it, and I had not read a book since high school. So that was like 5 years
Yeah.
previous or 4 years
Like
previous.
you said, you were a Marine, so
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
Uh,
So he said, just do me a favor, just force yourself through the first chapter because it's going to get a little boring. You might lose interest. You're gonna, but once you get hooked on the characters and the environment, you understand what's going on, then you'll get into it. I said, okay. So I did. It took about 2 chapters for me, but and I would have to reread a lot of paragraphs because my mind would wander and I wasn't used to reading yet. So, and then ever since, dude, I was freaking hooked. I took it back to him a few weeks later and I was like, this is awesome. He goes,
yep.
oh, here's the next one. He had the whole set.
Yeah, of
And he
course.
had the Cimmerillion, which I read as well, which was written. It was started by Tolkien, but finished by his son
His son,
because
I
he
imagine.
passed on. Yeah,
He did, in fact, yeah.
so I was just blown away. And then when I got out, I joined this thing. You just had to sign up through a paper catalog and send a check in the mail or a yes.
Was this still in the
Um,
90s
oh
or
yeah,
2000s?
yeah, 90s.
Oh
And
yeah, that would do it.
like 94, I signed up for this military book club. They would send you a book every month, and yeah, it was very cheap. So, and I've been reading ever since. So anyway, I'm
Yep.
in the cafeteria reading. I don't know. I think at the time I was on Richard Marcinko. He's
I
dead
know
now, but
exactly who that is.
do
Yeah.
you? Rogue
Yeah.
Warrior. So he
Yeah.
wrote the whole Rogue Warrior series. I was reading that. So I'm sitting here reading this, and I'm eating this concoction of that smells like shit.
It
Tuna
does.
fish and yogurt and cottage cheese and
Doesn't look that much better either.
carrots.
No.
So they thought I was like really weird. And I'm working
I
in a
bet.
factory.
If I saw you with the Rogue Warrior book, I would already be like, uh, I don't know, there's a lot of speculation that he exaggerated some of the details with that or didn't go on some of the missions or something like that. There's also, of course, the Rogue Warrior video game, which is one of the worst video games ever made.
It's horrible.
It
I
is
met him
so it
because of
is
that
also
game.
really funny.
It's funny.
Um because it's like suck my fucking nuts, cock, this, and it's just like every swear and like
Yes.
all the sentences are just
Oh,
like vulgar enough to make your grandmother like turn into a turbine in a grave. It's just it's a
it is cringy.
truly, yeah, it's cringy on a whole new level though. It's not quite as
Yeah.
cheesy or as like good bad as something like The Room, right? But it's still like enough of an oddity for you to just go like, huh, for like 5 minutes and then like investigate and be like, okay.
Um, I played it. I played it. I played the game. I worked a game. I ran a GameStop when that came out, and so at
So you played
GameStop,
it.
if you're a manager, they send you to. I don't know if they still do it, but they had a GameStop manager conference every year in September before the holiday season, and so you get to you meet all the developers, all the groups, all these guys, Activision, all these big names, Blizzard,
Yeah, of course.
World of Warcraft was really popular still back then, and I know it's still popular, but you don't
Yeah.
see too much. I mean, there was a
It's
lot of
it's
hype
not like
about.
appears on the Super Bowl fucking
Yeah.
commercials. I don't know
Yeah,
if it
they
ever did, but it probably did.
it probably did. They got some good badass looking videos when they do that, but yeah, we met all these guys, and so when that game came out, I was still running the GameStop when Rogue Warrior came out, and I got to meet. He was there for
No
the
way.
manager conference. Yeah, he was there,
Did he
so we
have
got to
the
meet
little
him.
ponytail and the sunglasses and
Yeah,
everything?
yeah.
No
No, he
fucking
had short
way.
hair. He had short hair.
Oh, okay,
He
yeah,
didn't look like Steven Seagal at that
yeah,
time, so no, it
yeah.
was
Oh well, Virgo,
he
my
had short
fucking nuts. You,
hair.
I can't say some of the words because it's hate speech, but
Yeah, it
yeah,
was. I'm sure he exaggerated. I mean, it was a novel. So the
it's
first
been debunked
one
a few times, but
was listed as nonfiction, which is why he went to prison in the first place. But the
cool,
other ones were listed as fiction, and
good.
that's all. If he would have just done that the first time, it would have been fine. But
Yeah, I think you should have done that, to be honest with you, and then still
yeah,
left non-fictional elements in there. That'd be really funny if you compromised the U.S. government's secrets like that
no, dude,
specifically.
there was not, all the only reason, like, there were no specifics except he named a satellite
Good idea.
Q-135 or whatever,
Good idea.
and it was not even in use anymore. So, like, it was destroyed. But anyway, so that was the it pissed people off, how that goes. So, but anyway, yeah, I was there. I was working there when that game came out, and I played it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, "Fuck, this thing sucks."
Your brain was probably shot after that too. You weren't thinking in
So,
normal sentence structures. You just had a curse word every 2 words, and then
I was
yeah.
like that anyway. I was like that
Oh
anyway.
well, yeah, fair. The Marines. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I was like that anyway. It was yeah. So I didn't cuss around my kids when they were little,
Smart.
to be honest. Yeah, it was my wife and I, the way we raised our kids was, our idea was to spoil them with love and attention when
Okay.
they're young, before they're teenagers, and then along the way teach them life lessons and a little bit of responsibility along the way, like you're supposed to. I mean,
This
that's
sounds yeah pretty ideal.
pretty normal, kind of thing. So, and that's what we did. We never had, like, they were really responsible teenagers. They went out, and we encouraged them to go out and party. We encouraged them to go out, have fun. If you want to go get wild, do it here, or do it safe, or call us. And our daughter did call us one time, actually. We picked her up. She was 16. She went to a friend's house. They ended up going to a party,
Yep.
and they couldn't get back, and they needed a ride. So, and
Look at that.
she threw up in the car. She was drunk.
Yep.
So, but she
But
didn't
hey,
get in trouble.
she didn't drink and drive. Like we had a girl
Exactly.
in my town that she drank and drive, and she had five fucking kids in the car with her. And she was
Oh.
on she was on a permit too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crashes into a telephone pole, breaks her fucking spine. Yep. Is still able to stand, by the way. Well, not stand, but like kind of get up, and linger
Yeah.
for a bit. Refuses the breathalyzer because obviously she is drunk out of her fucking mind. And yeah, she goes to the hospital. They fix her back somehow by some miracle of God. All of the people that were in the seats, the passenger seats and whatnot, they survived. Again, some of them had like concussions and
Mm.
broken ribs, that type of thing, but they lived, which is really impressive. Um, and this, I'm not gonna, again, I can't name names, but this girl went on to get into her Ivy League school scot free
Yeah.
because her dad was like a lawyer or knew a
Expunged the record.
lawyer. or just fucking, yeah, shoved it under the carpet.
Yeah,
Um, my hometown is like that. There's a lot of really, really privileged kids that just like they can do whatever the fuck they want and
that's
sign
sad.
up to whatever school. It is really sad.
Yeah.
It's also infuriating for kids like me that hate that kind of person.
Well,
But
it is. It is. It definitely is upsetting. Yeah, it is because yeah, I picked up this. So I drive. I've been driving Uber here and there
oh no
over the
way. Okay,
last yeah. So a bunch of months. I've been doing that to fill in, and then I picked up this girl. Speaking of like, with records, somebody does something wrong, they have a record kind of thing. So
can't
this
drive
girl,
normally.
yeah.
Yep.
So this girl was in her maybe she was probably around 30. Okay. She had a DUI 8 years ago.
Yep.
Okay. She did not go, she paid the fine, but she didn't go to the state mandated class for the DUI. Okay.
Oh
She was
yeah.
like, I don't need to because I'm not going to drive anymore. She lost her car. She was just, getting rides
Okay.
from friends or whatever. So
Yeah.
no big
If
deal.
that's her lifestyle, I suppose go
So
for it.
then 8 years later, she's like, okay, well, I want to go get my license now. My life's changed. I want to, do this. I want to get a car so I can go to work and do this and not have to get an Uber all the time or Lyft or whatever. So she goes to get her license and she still has to complete this class
Hmm.
8 years later.
Yeah.
What
Eight
the
years.
dude? I feel like that's so dumb. But
Yeah, but
she lives in a really low income area.
yeah.
She didn't have like, she had a court appointed lawyer when she got her DUI. She didn't hurt anyone. She just got
Yeah.
pulled over because she was, she swerved or whatever.
Swerving or whatever. Yeah, but still, man, like
Oh, I get
she
it.
could have
I get it. She
swerved
could have.
into someone or had someone in the car,
Oh,
and then they would have been. I mean, most
I know.
passenger seat players,
My
they
best
fucking
friends in
die.
high school were killed in a drunk driving accident. They went off a 250-foot cliff,
Oh my
and two
God.
of them were killed instantly. Two of them are in a wheelchair still to this
Uh,
day.
I'm very
One went
sorry to
on
hear
to
that.
become a doctor, but we all played football together. One was our
Yeah.
quarterback. It
Jesus
was
Christ.
really traumatic. That was our or our junior year. So it it wrecked the school. Like,
Yeah,
um,
that would
all
wreck the
these
school.
guys, there were five of them in the car. Uh, three of them lived, two of them died, and so anyway, it's a big area of concern for me. I don't take it lightly at all. But when I'm talking to this girl, I'm going, so you already paid the ticket, everything's fine, and then no, you still have to go to the class. Like they don't teach you anything in this class as far as like,
Do not drink and drive.
yeah, that's
That's the
what they're
class.
teaching you.
That's the
Okay, come on.
class.
That's just silly. But anyway, I didn't know it carried on that long. That's kind of
No, it's permanent
it's
until you,
wild.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
um, well, look, man, I appreciate you being on. It's been
Yeah, my
fun talking
pleasure.
with you. What do you got going on? Well, you're on the Mobro, so you definitely have events coming up.
Yeah, let me pull up the team schedule actually.
All
Oh,
right.
bros. Anyone in the Northeast?
Yeah. Anyone in the Northeast, get on the group too. Get on the
Get onto the Discord. I'm
yeah. What do
sure
you
you
guys
can
have?
throw.
Northeast Airsoft.
There's Northeast Airsoft. Um, yeah, there's that, and we have a couple of other like random ones that we're affiliated with. I think. Let's see
Yeah, I
team
just talked to
schedule.
Gordon from Stag Ops.
Oh, look at that. August 31st. I will almost certainly be there for UBG over in Bridgewater, Mass.
Okay.
And then September, there's no way in hell I'm missing this. There's an Escape from Tarkov event.
Ooh.
Given how my kit looks, I need to be there. Capital
Right.
N need to be there. So those
Yeah,
are our
that'd be
next
cool.
two events. So it's August 31st for UBG Bridgewater, Mass. And then Escape from Harris Tarkov Woods is over September 1st, September 14th, excuse me. And that's over in
Cool.
Harris Farms. They are, where are they exactly? Maine. So that's going to be quite a trek for me, but I'll just like, I don't know, I'll probably end up getting a hotel or just staying at someone's place. But
Yeah, how far is it for you to go like to New Hampshire where
It's about like
Mobros
two and
and
a
so
half
on?
hours at the most.
Okay.
It was 2 hours for me to get to their like yearly little get together,
Yeah.
and then yeah, it's not usually that bad. Like we have RPC up here as another New Hampshire field, and that was like an hour and 45, hour and 15 minutes. So that could be dicey, right? Oh, we also got a few more ops after that. The one I'm looking forward to though, right now at least, is the RPC Airsoft, a very Mac V SOG Christmas. Not really sure what that stands for.
Okay.
Shuriken Dagger Sword. Again, don't know what that means, but it's in December, so there's a good chance that it snows, especially since it's New Hampshire. So yeah,
That might be cool.
it could be cool. And that is December 1st, RPC. But yeah,
Nice.
go on our website. It's just remobrosairsoft.com. If you're in the New England area, if you're in New Hampshire area, and you want a cool team to play with, fucking hit us up. We are all more than willing to talk to you, um, hang out with you, go to the fucking fields, whatever. And if we think you're cool, which is a pretty low bar by the way, um, we will make you part of the team at some point or another.
Yeah.
Everyone gets unanimously voted in, so um, it's a pretty fair system. I actually just got voted in, so I'm an official member now.
Nice.
Thank you, everyone. But yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you very much.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah,
Being on, it was fun. Good to meet you, and definitely we'll have you on again. Go over if you want to do some show and tell with your stuff. I know one of the guys that I had on before. There's actually a handful of guys we have that are into 3D printing. We have a section on our Discord about 3D printing. So
oh, I'm
that
right at home then.
yeah, it's fun, man. It's I love seeing all the designs and the cool stuff. But yeah, so cool, man. Well, I'll have all the links for all your stuff and your YouTube channel and your Instagram and all your social stuff, and then the sponsor stuff. Thank you again. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast. Everyone go to the links in the description and check them out. And if you do go there and you found them because of this podcast, let them know that you found them from this podcast. All right,
Hell
man.
yeah.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much.
All right, man. Have
All
a good
right.
night.
Have a good night, everyone.